have a seat right there. All right. This discussion will be recorded. It'll just make it easier for us later in the process.
You're allowed to speak, miss.
I know, it's fairly dry in here. Should I get some drinks or something before we start? Or... You know what? Never mind. Wasn't that thirsty anyway. Okay, sorry. We can start.
I'll reintroduce myself. I am Lieutenant Detective Peter. I am here with Officer Christine, and we are talking to Victoria Beardsley, a former employee of Tony Romano.
I go with Tori.
Tori Beardsley. For the discussion of her life leading up to the events that currently took place regarding Mr. Romano's death. Now, Tori, it's to my understanding that you were working on a film with Mr. Romano the night of his death.
Yes.
Correct? Okay. How was your relationship with Tony?
Good.
We need more detail.
Of course. Sorry. Well, was my internship supervisor, so.
Did you two get along?
Yeah. He wasn't too much older than me, so he was more like a brother rather than my boss.
Would you say he was like a mentor to you?
Yeah, I wanted his life. Okay, well, not his life, but I aspired to be like him in my life. Right. So how about those drinks?
So you've known Mr. Romano for a while?
Yeah, I've known him for a couple years, but I only started working for him a couple months ago. I thought since I'm about to graduate that it'd be smart to get some experience in my area of interest.
Are you going to college?
Yes, Wayne State.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Right, well, you seem like a smart girl. How was school?
Tell us about your high school experience.
Well, I went to West Bloomfield High School for 9th and 10th grade, and then 3 weeks into 11th grade, I decided to switch to an early college.
Let's start with 9th grade.
Well, during freshman year, it was still COVID, and all my assignments and presentations were online, which luckily helped me strengthen my skills in Google Docs and Google Slides, since I use them to create my scripts anyway.
Go on.
Well, since it was COVID, me and my friend group were on the phone 24/7, because that's the only way we could communicate, because some of us went to different schools. So.
Did any of these friends know Tony Romano?
No, I met him in 11th grade.
So, let's go into 10th grade then.
Sophomore year, I started to prioritize my health. I started working out on my own since I stopped doing sports. I started making home-cooked meals, which I still try to incorporate to this day.
Any extracurriculars or things you attended?
Why is this relevant?
We just need as much information as possible.
Okay. Well, this year I got close with my film teacher, and since she knew I wanted to pursue a career in film, she told me to do this camp called DAFT that they hold every year, and I got to learn a lot about the film process. And I was a student director at my high school fall play in 11th grade.
Speaking of 11th grade, I was 11th grade. You said that was the year you met Mr. Romano?
Yes.
How did you two originally meet?
Let's start with your personal life first.
Well, 3 weeks into my junior year, I realized I didn't want to be at West Bloomfield High School anymore for personal reasons, but I had a friend that went to Oakland Early College, so I thought I'd try to see what it was like.
So you met Tony at Oakland Early College?
No, I met him at Oakland Community College. Oakland Early College is a dual enrollment program. I take high school and college classes.
So you met Tony at one of your college classes?
Yes, he was in my psychology class.
Explain your junior year.
Well, I had a new school to get used to, but luckily it was fairly easy to make friends since I already knew someone who went there, and I actually met my best friend,
What was the name of this friend?
Leilani.
Okay. Continue.
After meeting Leilani, I grew in my faith as a Christian, and I was able to get more involved in the church, and I started attending more of the youth events. I got more involved in the Spanish ministry at my church and met my Hispanic godparents, as my mom likes to call them. They run the Spanish ministry. And I actually went on my first missions trip to Guatemala with my youth group.
Why were you in Guatemala?
We were helping with water filtration and hosting some kid programs at some of the schools.
How long were you there?
A week.
That must have been tiring for you.
No, it's pretty fun, actually.
Any more information?
I got back into gymnastics that year with Leilani, which was nice because I did gymnastics most of my life anyway.
What about your college experience?
I mean, at first I had to take a starter class since I joined the school late, but in the winter I was able to take my first couple college classes, so
So, this is when you met Tony.
yes, Tony was in my psychology class.
So, how did you two become such great friends?
Anyone who knows me knows that I'm always busy, and Tony knew that feeling better than anyone.
How did you two end up working together if you were classmates?
We'll get to that later. Let's focus on the rest of your high school career. 12th grade. How was it seeing your old friends graduate when you knew you had a year left?
For me, I knew I was doing this program to graduate with my associate's degree and be ahead of my friends, so I was always okay with having one more year.
And your birthday is?
November 9th, 2006.
Oh, so it's a year later then.
Yeah, which is why it just feels like I'm graduating on time now. Plus, I got to take more film classes, which was obviously fun for me, and I took a screenwriting class that I was able to network through and work on a piece that my teacher was really invested in. But other than that, I didn't really do much. But I still volunteered at my church in the nursery and helped with the tech team sometimes.
Okay.
And now you're a 13th grader. How do you feel?
I mean, I'm ready to graduate for sure. And like I said, I'll be going to Wayne State to major in film and minor in business.
Congratulations. Any plans this summer?
Well, Tony and I were supposed to be pitching the film that we were working on together to these producers that we met through our connections. And I quit my job this past semester, so I've been trying to work with the money I have in my savings until I find a new job.
How do you find time to work on this film with your busy schedule? And I'm assuming Tony's busy schedule as well.
Your head right now, while your world is spinning out. So slow it down, take a moment now. We're too young to drown.
We would work almost every night. We were both free at the end of the day rather than earlier in the day. This current semester has been so busy for me with family issues, schooling, church, so many different things. It was nice to have a friend to work with.
So why did you kill Tony Romano if you were such good friends?
Hi,
Did I drive us?
So now's not really the best time.
Why are you whispering?
Oh, so
Is this about Tony Romano?
Excuse me! Do you know anything about Tony Romano?
Right. So she was just leaving. Okay. Yeah. So I'll talk to you later. Okay.
I apologize for Lieutenant Peters' unprofessional actions.
Just tell us what happened the night he died.
Tony would occasionally get really angry, then go silent. But I let it slide because I understood the stress he had because of how much of himself he put into his work, which is why I looked up to him as a mentor and a friend.
I know we've been working on this project together for a long time, but I feel like I should be the one to pitch it on Friday.
What?
Think about it. You're a kid. They ain't gonna take you serious. Like, look, once I get this project and this money going, I'll give you a call.
Okay, but I've been working on this project just as hard as you have.
I know. But you're still my intern. Like, this is above you.
Where has this thought been throughout the entire project?
That night, he was choking. I just didn't help him.
You killed an innocent man because of unfair treatment?
Oh my gosh! I didn't kill him because of unfair treatment. I did it because he was trying to take away everything I'd put into this project.
Unbelievable.
No. Okay, no. I think of it like this, okay? I was trying to take off a mask that I wear every day.
Your mask?
Yeah. Because I've known Tony for 3 years, right? He wanted to stab me in the back. I put my all into this project, okay? A real friend would know that, okay? I couldn't just let him walk all over me. Again, mind you, okay? I had to let him go. Okay? Think of it like this, okay? It wasn't my fault. Okay? He choked on food, okay? I was yelling at him in the other room. He could have taken smaller bites, okay? He was always so greedy like that, so. Yeah, well, I didn't think he was gonna die, okay? It's a bit extreme, okay? Could have held on a little longer, right? So.
I just don't think I've ever had a case like this in my life.
You know what? Just take me now. Just take me now. Yep.
Slow it down when you're on the ground and you're crying. I'm trying to slow it down when you're spinning round in your head. I'll help you slow